We're going to have a lot of fun today, I think. It'll be exciting to meet some new people, share some stories, and hopefully go back to our business units reinvigorated. Here's a company leading the way, leading the pack, setting the tone, and showing other organizations that are much bigger than us what could be done.
You're in this room because we believe every single one of you and every single person has a role to play. This is not another initiative that we think it's about a marketing campaign. No, it's about preserving our values, recognizing that we've grown organically and through acquisition. It's not about taking over the values of other companies. It's bringing the best of all the companies that have become part of Smart Group together.
So this is about the stories, and we're going to have an opportunity now. So for everybody to share their stories at the table. And so what's really important though is at the end of this, you're going to have somebody from the table come up and deliver a story. It doesn't necessarily have to be your story, but there's a spokesperson for the table that feels comfortable to come up and share what you think is the best story.
2005, I think this was our first boat party, and we were probably 50 people at max at Smart salary at the time. And we're about to leave and everyone's super excited. And then a call comes in, and it happened that we had failed to export a file for one of the very few corporate clients we had. Well, the whole payroll team decides to jump off the boat, head back into the office, process the pay file, and then a few hours later come back to the boat in a water taxi. It's like a James Bond moment.
One of our field staff members many years ago, Troy Brown, who's still in the company, a lot of people will know him, he got chatting with the principal and got to know the principal and found out that one of the things that the principal was really struggling with was that they couldn't buy soccer balls for the school. They just didn't have enough funds, they're falling apart, they couldn't do it. And Troy was really distressed about this, and he came back to the company and managed to get funds partly from Smart, but also from the team, and everybody pitched in and we were able to buy the soccer balls for the team. So, small thing, the guy was super excited about it. There was, no actual financial benefit for Smart Group from it. It was just a really nice thing to do.
We get a phone call late, and we've got a client who's broken down. She's got a young kid in the car on our freeway. We need your car. I'm like, what? As you know, I like to drive nice cars. She said, doesn't matter. We need this car. This woman is stuck. I went, okay, so two of us, my car and her, we get on the car, drive down the freeway, drop my keys off, give her my Lexus, please don't crash my Lexus. And that lady now is deputy CEO of that company, and they will never go out to tender, right? By doing that one little thing for that person, she brings it up, she remembers what we did for her, and little things can have massive impact down the track.
Actually in Adelaide last week, and one of our biggest clients in Adelaide, it was their induction day, and nobody could go and do it. And I was like, well, I'm going. And I walked into that room and I just felt it again. You've got 40 people, low income earners, they work in the PBI space. These people work in that space because they love what they do. They don't get paid a lot of money, and they wanted to know what I could do for them. And I felt like a rock star, honestly. This is why we're here. We help these people. They live pay to pay, and I just told them I'm going to make them $5,000 better off. And we need that passion in all of the people that work in this business. And we were saying, if the passion is there, we've just got to bring it back out. And if it's not there, it's not the right place for these people. So we need to ignite the passion in ourselves so we can ignite it in our teams. And we need to spread that around.
So we've got one particular guy in the last couple of weeks. He had a brain injury in Afghanistan. So you can imagine what's happened. He's in a war-torn country, something's happened, he's got a brain injury. Got a car with us about 12 months ago, okay? When he suffered the brain injury, came back home, he was cleared, he was okay, he could work, stay in defence, and it was all good. Okay, we're entering into a lease, situation's fine. He has now suffered quite severe fallout from that particular injury, and he's no longer fit to serve, okay? He's been a soldier all his life, he's about 50, he's got kids, he's married, he's got this car, okay? Think about that, he can't work anymore. He's only ever done that But that's probably a story that everyone should really know for our big clients. They don't understand what goes on behind the scenes, and I think that's really important.
When you look at the stories that we see, obviously there are things that start to hit you. The idea that, not settling. Did you see that? That, nobody's going to settle. We're not going to settle for what we are. We're going to go the extra mile. Did you hear those stories coming out? There was this kind of always going the extra mile, whether it's for your customers, whether it's for staff. And what's really interesting is a lot of this happens behind the scene. Did you hear that? And it's just there. It's ingrained within the company. There's this idea of making a real difference. And I think there's this other thing that we see here about owning it. Do you see that we take it on, like it's ours? And so that's kind of some of the things that you start to see, that we push the boundaries. Brand essence is at your heart. It's what makes us tick. It's the soul of our brand. It's the brand behavior, it's the DNA. And all of these stories that you heard today, and this was just 70 of us talking. Imagine all the stories in the whole of the Smart Group. Imagine all those stories. They all form our unique DNA. And what we want to try and do is put 2 words against it. The essence is beyond further. 2 words for the Smart Group. Now, it's just 2 words, right? Just 2 words. And you go, well, what's beyond further and what does it mean?
Think about every single day, what is it that we can be doing to start to get this kind of groundswell around beyond further, and really start to demonstrate to all of the people in the organisation what this means and how, as an organisation, we think and we behave.
We think we're probably in a sweet spot now where we've still got a lot of ideas, but when we're starting to think of them now, I think we're all feeling that actually we're implementing a lot of those and implementing them really quickly. And so while we've got that opportunity, we should make the most of it, I think, and go beyond further.
Yeah, we have team meetings all the time, and we're supposed to be. These are opportunities for people to tell stories across the group. We can arm managers with stories so that my guys in finance know what happened in Access Pay and this wonderful thing that happened.
To start empowering every employee to feel comfortable enough to go beyond further. So I think we've got to start there from Melbourne, and that's going to be our little initiative that Hong and I are going to take on.
What really resonated was the stories. It really connected to us as people and as individuals, and to share the stories and celebrate the beyond further behaviour that we're already seeing, I think will really give everyone a focus on, actually this is something we want to do and this is something that we're celebrating.
So thank you for all of your great ideas that you've contributed as part of Michelle's session. There are some really practical and inspiring things that we can take away and to do. The beauty of today is not only collecting all of the ideas that we have collaborated on and shared, but the challenge for us is to take those and actually do something with it, to make beyond further extend beyond this room. One of the teams mentioned about recruitment, I think it was actually Bree's team, about we should be selecting people who are on the journey of Beyond Further before they even join Smart Group. So having some interview questions that are assessing people on their Beyond Further cultural fit. Definitely including as part of our onboarding. We know that's such a powerful session where people learn about the culture of the company. So not only hearing about this important part of our DNA, our essence, but also hearing some of the stories that we have shared today, either verbally or visually. I think one of the groups suggested actually videoing some of these stories. Making sure that we build in, and I heard a suggestion about KPIs and performance, making sure we can embed this trait throughout our employee life cycle as part of how we evaluate and measure our own performance and the expectations that we have individually and collectively as part of a team.
Listen, thank you very much for today. Today has been absolutely amazing. Right? I'm absolutely inspired by all these stories. Normally I don't get a lump in my throat. There's no moisture coming down my face at all, right? But after hearing some of that, I tell you, I would have the heart of stone if I didn't feel something. Right? What we've done today is to set something for us to achieve for that's enduring. Yeah. Look, it doesn't have to be big. All right, it's small, everyday things, but it's gotta be in the forefront of everything we do. So, thank you guys.